Hello and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. I have lately been reading the Stonewall Reader, published by Penguin Books, Penguin Classics, and edited by Jason Bauman, or otherwise edited by the New York Public Library. I've just been enjoying this so much, and a lot of it is personal anecdotes. And while I am not a fan of memoirs, I find these little excerpts, in some cases derived from personal memoirs in book form, just capturing the essence of the times of the movement and the sense of progress and excitement that must have been felt. Now, I was living through some of this, but I was too young to be aware of anything. And even at this late stage, I tend to be very unaware of things. But I do the best I can. Now, I've been sharing little excerpts. And so I would like to share a little bit of an excerpt by Tommy Avicoli Mecca. So let me see. Tommy Avicoli Mecca is a writer, activist, performer, and the editor of Smash the Church, Smash the State, the early years of gay liberation. A participant in GLF, GAA, and the Radical Queens. In this essay, he discusses the dangers faced by drag and street queens in Philadelphia in the 1970s. And the title here is Brushes with Lily Law. And I'm just going to read a small portion of what Penguin includes here. When I was in high school, I fell madly in love with this guy in my class. He and I would do homework at his house. It was a chance to be together. Coming home late sometimes, I'd be stopped by cops who thought, as they put it, that I looked like someone who had just committed a crime. Ethnic profiling before it was called that. No doubt the description in the police bulletin said Italian. I had a Roman nose. Therefore, I must be a criminal. To my uncle, the cop, I was something even worse. When I worked at the gas station that my father operated with his oldest brother, Uncle Cop always needled me about being effeminate. He loved to do it in front of the old guys who hung out at the station. He'd yell across the driveway while I was washing a car. When are you gonna start acting like a boy? It achieved its effect. I was totally humiliated. I tried to ignore him, but he kept at it until he was distracted by something else or until I walked off to the bathroom. At family gatherings, my uncle bragged about beating up the queens along the drag strip. Fortunately, by the time I was hanging out in that area, he had been transferred to another police precinct. On the drag strip, I had one very close brush with Lily Law, or Alice, as we called the cops. I don't know where Lily Law came from, but Alice, or Alice Blue Gown, was the invention of a very loud and proud queen named Alice, who used it to signal the other queens when they needed to stop what they were doing. One night on the merry-go-round, a gay cruising area, I was in a dark alley, about to go down on someone when I heard, "Alice!" I took off. Sure enough, a cop car was circling the block. I wasn't so lucky that summer night on the drag strip. I was talking to a John. I wasn't really going to do anything with him. I liked the fact that he kept telling me how pretty I was, but I had no intention of going off with him. A cop car pulled up to the curb. The John fled. He didn't need to worry. The police would never have arrested him. "Get in," the police officer said. He was standard issue white Anglo. My heart started pumping harder. I knew I had to stay calm. I got in the car, sitting as close to the door as I could in case I had to make an escape. Of course, that would only make me look guiltier. "Let me see your ID," he said. I handed it to him. "Avicoli, you related to—" "Yeah, he's my uncle," I said. "Does he know?" "No." He didn't say anything for the longest time. He handed the card back to me. I wanted to beg him to not say anything to my uncle, but I was too scared to talk. I was willing to do anything to avoid being booked. He seemed to be considering something. A blowjob would be a fair exchange for my freedom. He wasn't that bad looking. "You know, this is a dangerous neighborhood," he said. I was barely breathing, trying to be as still and silent as possible. "I should take you in," he paused, "but your uncle's a good guy. He don't deserve this." He was obviously conflicted. Duty versus loyalty to a fellow officer. I remained frozen. I figured it best to keep quiet. "Get out of here," he said, "and don't let me see you out there no more." I was out of that car before he could reconsider. As I walked back to Dewey's, some of the girls asked me what happened. I just shook my head and kept going. I went straight past the restaurant and toward the bus stop. When the bus pulled up, I got on and sat in the back, still trembling. Uncle Cop had saved my queer ass. I heartily recommend getting this book if that anecdote is of interest to you. As I say, I don't know that I could take a full-fledged memoir, though in a couple instances I may give authors included in this book a try. But this is really marvelous, with an introduction by Edmund White, which I have not read yet. Thank you for stopping by.